Welcome to Tuesday Tips. We are live. Actually, tonight we are live in both our Speaking Out on the Care of Your Aging Parents private Facebook forum, as well as our Facebook page, Your Nurse Advocate Consulting. So, all if anybody's watching on the Facebook page, come on over, check us out over in the forum. We have discussions going on. We share things that only we share within our community and our forum. So, come on over. The link to the Facebook group is in the post. So, we've been talking a lot about the Senior Care Summit. We're up to 32 speakers on 34 topics related to supporting caregivers, families, as well as supporting the aging adults. And so tonight, I just wanted to back up a step. The Senior Care Summit is all about finding resources. Well, if you're a new caregiver, how do you even know what resources, that you should look for? Or how do you even know if there's things going on in your parents' home or grandparents' home that maybe, warrants your attention? So tonight, I just wanted to take a few minutes to back up and look at the first step, and that's identifying the need. So I'm going to share, this is a free checklist that you have. If you are interested in that, just drop free checklist in the comment section, and I will make sure you get it. If you're on our forum, it's already in our file section and you have access to that. So we're going to look at, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to look at our checklist, 11 signs that your aging parents may need help in the home. So let's take a peek at that. Okay, so this is what the cover sheet of our free checklist is for you. So what we have is, if you're wondering how things are going with your aging parents, do I really need to step in and, start getting involved? They seem to be doing okay, by themselves. So, and that's all fine and good, because the last thing we want to do is threaten their independence any more than it already is, that they already feel as they're getting older and realize that they can't do some of the things that they used to do before. So let's just go over real quickly the 11 signs that may indicate that there might be something going on. And again, we have, we have a little course that Linda and I walk through this, but this is kind of the worksheet that we put in with our free checklist so that you could take some notes. So number one, frequent falls in the last 3 to 6 months. Maybe you notice bruises, bumps, cuts, burns. Oftentimes they're going to not tell you that they fell, because again, that's a red flag to people saying, oh, maybe I can't live on my own. Are you going to say that I can't do this or that? So that's a red flag. But if you notice that, don't hesitate to question them and say, hey, mom, dad, have you fallen recently? And I guess if you can be as non-judgmental as possible, that's going to go a long way, because if you lose their trust and become too judgmental, they're not going to open up to you, and they're going to try and hide even more things. So sometimes it's very frustrating, but at the same time, just give them some grace. The more you don't berate them or that you're not hard on them, the more they'll open up for you. So look at frequent falls. Look at weight loss in the last 3 to 6 months. A great example. My mother-in-law has lost now 20 pounds since September. She's going to be 90 years old in April. We've seen the doctor. They're thinking it might be just her age, but you know what? That's significant. So if you're looking at a 10-pound weight loss unintentionally, when you're not trying to lose weight over a 3 to 6 month period, that at least warrants a conversation with the doctor. Amongst other things, how are they eating? Do they have access to food? Are they, what are they eating? Can they get to the grocery store? These are all, once you start identifying these things, then you need to break them down and start doing some investigation. Red flag number 3, losing or misplacing things frequently with an increase in confusion or behavior changes. Now, I don't know about you, but I have misplaced my keys. I've misplaced notes, grocery lists. I've even set the grocery list down on a shelf at the grocery store and walked away and had to go back looking for my grocery list. But the difference is we realize when we forgot something and we immediately or shortly thereafter try and retrieve it. What I'm talking about is losing or misplacing things and then not having the recollection that you actually forgot something to go back. Like, for example, leaving something on the stove and then not remembering until the smoke detector goes off. So that would be more of a concern for losing or misplacing things. So that would be kind of a red flag. Another red flag is sometimes people have dementia. They will put things in very inappropriate places. They'll want to put their glasses away for safekeeping, but they may end up in the underwear drawer or in the freezer, or in the microwave, whatever, those obviously would be not normal places to put things so that you wouldn't lose them. So that would be a concern. Number 4, isolation or seclusion from friends and family. That's a red flag. I remember our very first client when I decided to become a nurse, a patient advocate, was an elderly couple at church, and she had not been in church for a while. And that was really unusual for her because she was very active church member. She would have Bible studies in her home, very, very active. And so she called me one time and said if I would stop over after church. It was a Sunday afternoon. And I said, sure. And she said to me, and she still had the awareness that she was becoming forgetful. She told me she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. She didn't want to go to church anymore because she was afraid that she would forget the names of her friends that she's known for many years, and that would be very embarrassing for her. So again, once we identify an issue, we got to do our investigative work, and we got to dig a little deeper to try and find out the why behind some of the concerns. Number 5, not taking their medications correctly. That could be, again, the first thing you'll identify is maybe you're at the home and you see that it's Wednesday, and you look at their pill caddy, that their pill box, their pill sorter, and you see, Thursday and Friday are gone, but Monday and Wednesday are still in the box, and today's Wednesday. And or you're seeing that maybe they're skipping, they're not all being emptied, or they don't seem complete. And so again, that might be a warning sign. Are they having trouble picking up their medications? Are they having trouble affording their medications? Have there been changes? Again, here's where the investigative work comes in if you notice that they may not be taking their medications correctly. Number 6, the house is unkept, which is a change. Now, there's no judgment here. Everybody keeps their house different, and that's okay. What we're looking for is a change. So, for example, if the kitchen is usually very meticulous and they always are, emptying the dishwasher, load it, the kitchen is always no dishes in the sink. Well, suddenly you go over to check on them and it looks like there's 3 days of dishes in the sink. That would be a change. So that would be a concern. And then again, start doing our deep dive into what are the reasons. Again, when questioning them, try to be very non-judgmental, very conversational. Say, hey, Ma, one thing I learned from you is your kitchen, you're always keep this kitchen so clean. Is there something going on? Can I help you with this? Or is there a reason why you might be having trouble with that? And just try and be gentle when you're asking. Number 7, poor hygiene or urine odors. Maybe you walk into the home and you just have a strong odor of urine. Now, if they have pets, we'll get to that. That's the next one. So if you think it's them, maybe they're having accidents, maybe they ran out of briefs, they could have a urinary tract infection. Again, the first thing is to notice the red flag and then deep dive into what might be causing it. Elderly people, especially in the wintertime, we're in the winter months when I'm recording this video, and it's in February. Well, elderly people don't have the thirst that we do. So especially in the wintertime, they may not be drinking as much. Well, then their urine sits in their bladder and leaves them more prone to urinary tract infections, which could lead to confusion, which could lead to incontinence or dribbling of urine. So again, notice the red flag and then try and do a little bit of a deeper dive. Number 8, pet care is neglected. There's so many pros and cons about pets and elderly people. Yes, they make great companions, but sometimes they're a challenge for our aging adults to take care of. And maybe they've been doing well for the last 5 years, but maybe now, they're having trouble. They're out of pet food, or the pet dishes are empty, or the yard's not being picked up, or some other symptoms or signs to you that they may not be taking care of their pets. So number 9 of the 11, maybe you found the stove or appliance left on. This is a little bit more dangerous. Now remember, um, that it's one thing to forget something, but then have the immediate, recollection that you forgot something and you go back to fix it, versus, again, leaving the stove on and not knowing anything until there's smoke has filled the kitchen and the smoke, the smoke alarms are going off. Number 10 of the 11 is missing doctor appointments. They may be doing the best they can. If they're putting the appointment on the calendar, they got that calendar hanging on the wall, and you find out that they missed their doctor appointment. One of the things that I encourage everyone to do is now all the clinics have the online portal. Well, whether it's called a patient portal, my chart, whatever, there's always online access. It takes 5 minutes. Call the clinic with your mom or dad on the phone, or when you take them to a doctor appointment, ask them at the front desk, get on that patient portal with the permission of your parents so that you can see. I don't know how many times, a great example, my mother would have missed appointments. My mother-in-law, she does not have any internet. She doesn't have a computer. We have access to her patient portal. And so she relies on her after visit summary that she gets when you leave the doctor's office, telling her when her next appointment is. Well, there's been occasions where they've changed those appointments. I can see the change on her my chart, but they don't call her, and she's going off her paper from her last visit, so she doesn't realize that her appointment has changed. So there could be many reasons why they're missing appointments, but once you've identified that that's a concern, again, do our deep dive and try and figure out what could be the cause. Is it transportation? What's causing them to miss the doctor's appointments? And last but not least, number 11 is missed bill payments. If they've usually had no problems with that, and you go over one day and you see a pile of bills on the table and really disheveled, and the checkbook's laying there, and it doesn't look like that's been kept up, and that's unusual for them, again, that would be a red flag that maybe you need to step in, and maybe you need to get on their checking account and help them manage their bills, or help them set up some auto payments. Again, this might be something that was fine, and then all of a sudden, sometimes we don't notice the subtle changes. We don't notice the gradual thing that leads up to the big red flag that we see. So just try and whenever you're with your parents, just keep your eyes, your ears, and your nose, all your senses, kind of on alert to see if there's anything that you could pick up. So that is really the first step in even knowing how to identify needs and resources. How to get the appropriate resources if we don't know what the needs are. And I'm going to share one last screen with you, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap up this beginning part where we're identifying the needs. So I'm going to share one more screen here with you, and I just want to stop the screen. I'm going to share that again so I can switch slides here, and we will just do one more thing here. Here we go. Okay. We're just going to wrap up with this. So in our checklist, and we also have a free course, a mini course that goes into this. It's $27 if anyone's interested. It's instructor led, and we go in and we actually work with you one-on-one to identify the issues of your parents' home. But if you just want the free checklist, and your family is more of a do-it-yourselfer, that's okay too. And so what I want to show you is when in our little workbook here, we have determined the needs. So we kind of sort the needs by different areas. So home safety, the falls, confusion, forgetfulness, leave the stove on. Health management, not taking their medicines, doctor appointments. So we kind of group those 11 signs, and we group those kind of identifying some red flags into 4 categories. The third one is nutrition and hygiene, weight loss, urine odors, finding soiled clothes that aren't getting laundered, refrigerator without food or moldy food, difficulty preparing meals. And the last section is managing the home, not being able to get out. They're not able, concerns about driving, pets, getting taken care of, bills not getting paid for. And so once we start looking at the red flags, we can sort these areas of need or these red flags into these 4 categories. And then we take it one step further and we actually have resources that are color coded to match the areas of need, so that you would begin to know the kind of resources that would be appropriate for those red flags that you're identifying. So that is, we're going to kind of wrap those up. So if you're interested in either the course or the free checklist, just drop a comment in there. I will make sure that you get access to those and get more information on that. Again, we're really super excited about our Senior Care Summit. I've put the link there. Our goal was to have 28 speakers and 28 topics to support caregivers as well as families, and tips and strategies for our aging adults. And we ended up, people were asking us to speak, so we ended up with 34 topics, 32 speakers, so 6 bonuses. We had to cut it off. It was just getting to be so much, but the quality of the speakers, doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, pharmacists, realtors, financial planners, estate planning attorneys. I mean, the list goes on and on. So check it out. This is going to be your ultimate guide for the year to look at what all resources that we have out there. So I will see you back next Tuesday for Tuesday Tips. Take care now.